All right, kiddos, we are going to shift into our writing lesson. Remember, we have been focusing on informative writing. So far, we've just been doing the research portion of informative writing. We have been looking at adaptations of animals. Today, we're going to take a last look at some animal adaptations, and then tomorrow, we're actually going to begin that writing paragraph. So today's your last day to do some research about an animal adaptation that you find interesting that you would like to write about. Okay, so we have a video lesson today that's going to go over some of that research with us, and then you have a research assignment that we're going to complete. But first, we will watch this video. Share my sound and let me X out of this. There we go. Alrighty, here we go.
We are learning about informative writing as we study animal adaptations. It's important that we understand vocabulary about informative writing so that we can write a paragraph with a topic sentence, with facts and details about the topic, and a concluding sentence at the end.
All right, so that's our goal. Here we go with some vocabulary. We learned this yesterday. Here's a good review.
We are working on informative writing. An important vocabulary word is the word inform. Inform is to let someone know something. We are writing in an informative way. We are going to teach the reader all about animal adaptations. Here is another important vocabulary word. The word is research. Research means to carefully learn about or study a topic. Here's an example. The kids like to research different insects they find outside. Today, we are going to be researching. We are going to look at a text and look for research about how living things survive in their environment.
All right, so we understand we're researching today. Oh, hold on, my Zoom controls are in the way. There we go.
Today we are looking at a text called Animals Tools for Survival by Sue Kin. Here is the introduction paragraph of this text. Almost everything about an animal's body is a physical adaptation. The Milwaukee Zoo has an animal adaptations lab. On a recent tour there, students learned that webbed feet, sharp claws, whiskers, large beaks, and long tails are adaptations found in many animals. These adaptations help animals survive. The lab doesn't stop there. The free 8-week program, which runs every fall and spring, allows students to do hands-on studies of adaptations for eating, defense, and locomotion. Here's what a recent group discovered. Today you are going to read the rest of this text. Remember, we are focused on informative writing. Our topic is animals have different adaptations that help them survive. Remember our big question? How do living things survive in their environment? Well, you're going to be writing about this. Today, you are going to look at the text. You're going to use the highlight tool to find evidence in the text about adaptations that animals have that help them survive.
All right, so you are going to be reading the rest of this text today. When you read the rest of this text, as Ms. Renee just said, you will be using the highlight tool to find animals that have different adaptations that help them survive. So the only thing you should be highlighting should be about animals and their adaptations. So you're doing some research about those adaptations. Here's an example of what your work might look like.
On each slide, you will see a section of our text. you will be looking for evidence in the text. You are looking for adaptations that animals have that help them survive. After you highlight your evidence, you will use the label tool to record here on our recording sheet. Remember our question: how do living things survive in their environment? All of your details should be about our topic.
All right, I see a couple hands that were raised. I'm going to assume those questions are about this work. If they are not about this work, please lower that hand. Sophia, what question do you have?
So we're gonna do it about animals.
Yes, we're continuing our study about animals and their adaptations.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Aiden Hampton.
We had this assignment. Last time.
Yesterday, your work looked very similar, where you were finding a fact 1 and a fact 2, but it was a different article. This is a different article.
Oh.
Okay, so we're continuing that research process with different texts. Alrighty. Okay, awesome. So your work today is going to be working on reading the text and finding different facts about how animals use adaptations to survive. Okay, so when this is released to you, you'll be able to add a response. And you will notice, just as Ms. Renele said, that there is a different piece of the text on every slide. We already read this one together. Okay, but Ms. Renele has something to say.
This is the introduction to our text called Animals, Tools for Survival. We have already read this introduction paragraph together on the example slides. I notice that this paragraph introduces the topic of different adaptations animals have for survival. I also notice that this tells me what the text is all about. I'm predicting what the main idea might be since I read this introduction.
Okay, so we know that the main idea is going to be how animals use their tools or their adaptations for survival. You will be progressing through each smaller section of text. So each paragraph has been copied onto a slide for you. Okay, there's also a short instructional video from Ms. Renele on each slide that I would encourage you to listen to.
How do animals survive? What adaptation can you find in this section of our text?
So that's a big hint to us that we should be looking for the adaptation on this page. I'm noticing that it's called webbed feet. I'm seeing there's webbed feet on the duck. I'm seeing there's webbed feet on the polar bear. I'm seeing there's webbed feet on the frog. So when I read this text, I will probably be learning about webbed feet. On this page, I should use my highlight tool to highlight one fact that I find interesting about webbed feet. On slide 3, you'll notice we're reading about sharp claws. Again, I'll listen to the video and I will highlight one fact that is interesting about sharp claws helping animals survive. I'll do the same thing on slide 4. I'll listen to Ms. Renele's video. This is about whiskers. I will read the text and highlight one fact that is about how whiskers help an animal survive. On slide 5, I'm reading about large beaks. You guessed it. I'll watch Ms. Renele's video, I'll read the text, and I'll highlight one fact about how large beaks help animals survive. My final page is about long tails. I'll watch Ms. Renele's video, I will read the text, and I will highlight one fact that is about how long tails help animals survive. On slide 7, I'm going to record 3 of the facts that I find the most interesting. So I'll go back through my research and I'll choose 3 that I will type. I'd like to talk about this, typing. A lot of you recently have been using the microphone tool when you have been told to type. We are looking at a writing standard, so you need to be writing, okay? Please make sure that you are writing the facts and not recording the facts when you have been asked to do so, okay? What questions can I answer about this work right now? What questions can I answer about this work? All right, kiddos, so this assignment has been released to you on Seesaw. So when you go to Seesaw, it is right up top in your activities. We have 15 minutes, and I'm going to place you into a breakout room for 15 minutes to work on this assignment, Animal Tools for Survival Fact-Finding Expedition. Here is what I envision happening as you are working together. When you are working, one person should read for your group. So somebody can read the paragraph, and then all of you can discuss what fact you think is most interesting or important and highlight that, okay? So you have 14 minutes, and you're going to read the text together, so one person can read out loud for your group, and then together you guys can decide which facts you should highlight. Remember, I should see one highlight on every single page. On slide 7, I should see 3 typed facts. So you'll have 14 minutes to work together, and whatever you don't finish will become independent work during our work time, okay? All right, I have recreated your breakout rooms. When you get into the rooms, decide if who's gonna read the first page and then read it for your group. And be kind, understand that we might not all be ready to read this text yet. So if there's someone who can read it for you, just go ahead and read it for your group. It is not important that every single person read, okay? Just that every single person hears the text, all right? Okay, I'm opening up your rooms. You have 14 minutes. Go ahead and go to work. All right, kiddos, so you had 15 minutes to work with your group on the assignment. What you did not complete is going to be independent from this point on. So you will need to read the article slides that you did not get to read. You'll need to highlight one interesting fact about animal adaptations on each page. And then you will type 3 facts that you think are the most interesting regarding animal adaptations. Again, make sure that all of the facts that you highlight and all of the facts that you type are about the main idea that animal adaptations help animals survive. Okay? All right. If you do not have any questions, goodbye. If you do have questions, stay on. I need Kimberly and Sophia to stay on with me, please. Kimberly and Sophia, stay on with me. And I also need Braden to stay on with me. Kimberly, Sophia, and Braden, stay on, okay? Everybody else, see ya. Braden, a question?